The year 2019 marks the 30th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. For millennials, the Berlin Wall is vanishing from memory. But will the lessons learned from separating people be forgotten? Back in 1987, the Berlin Wall was a stark reality for over 2 million West Berliners living within its perimeter. The wall barrier system was close to impregnable and was considered a permanent feature of the world's geopolitical order. It was there to stay. When the wall was still standing, a Canadian news cameraman decided to film the bizarre reality for those living all along the 155 kilometers of its perimeter.
For the first time, I went through the Berlin Wall at Checkpoint Charlie. And I was literally completely shocked, flabbergasted, stunned by this wall. It's as far as I'm concerned, it's unique in the world. My name is Patrice Massenet. I was a cameraman for the CBC on the international scene. You look at a wall, it's just a cement wall, basically. But it's what's behind it, because you had the wall, and then on the other side you had the no man's land. You also had the anti-tank traps. You had dogs on chains going all over the place. You had machine guns. And also this 10,000 army of Vopos with a Mirador to check everything that went on. And there was another wall on the eastern side, but way, like maybe 100, 200 feet inside. And I saw this wall on the other side too. It was white and gray, and it was completely forbidden to film.
Streets were split down the middle. Bridges were cut, landmark buildings demolished, and friends and family members were often trapped on either side. Those in East Berlin lost the right to communicate with their relatives in the West. To understand the importance of the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, we must go all the way back to 1945.
Eisenhower, with Field Marshal Montgomery and Soviet Marshal Zhukov, arrived to sign the historic documents taking over full control of the Reich for the Allies.
Soon after the Second World War, Germany was politically split in two, West Germany and East Germany. But the former capital, Berlin, became an oddity. Though it stood proudly on German territory, it was still occupied by the 4 Allied nations which had won the war. For the Eastern Bloc, this was an intolerable scar, right in the heart of their newly created communist country. East Berlin was under the control of the Russians, while West Berlin was occupied by the USA, the UK, and French forces. None of the players had any intention of moving, despite growing tensions between the West and the USSR. Russia's Nikita Khrushchev couldn't stand this geopolitical nonsense and soon tried to starve West Berlin into submission by blocking off all roads and railways. The British, the Commonwealth nations, and the Americans responded to the Berlin blockade with a vast airlift. For nearly a year, American and Allied nation planes flew 200,000 missions, bringing food, water, and medical supplies to the 2 million besieged Berliners. This nose-to-nose conflict came to be known as the Cold War.
He's near freedom. He's over. One more man has slipped the red yoke. He's a 25-year-old mathematician from Cottbus who has a fiancée in West Germany, proving again that love laughs at locksmiths and border guards.
On the night of August 12, 1961, East Berlin police and armed forces brutally enclosed West Berlin with barbed wire to stop the defections. This marked the start of the construction of the infamous Berlin Wall, an ever-improving barrier that was carved into the heart of the city and all around its western perimeter. Since the beginning of the wall, the U.S.'s continued commitment to preserve an island of the free world in a communist country never wavered. In keeping with President John F. Kennedy's famous speech back in 1963,
freedom has many difficulties, and democracy is not perfect. But we have never had to put a wall up to keep our people in, to prevent them from leaving us. Today, in the world of freedom, the proudest boast is, Ich bin ein Berliner.